What up, pedal heads? It's your man Eddie Monster here, back with another edition of Pedal TV News. That's right, the place to get all your rock and metal news. I'm your host, again, Eddie Monster, welcoming you all to episode number 6. That's right, if you want to follow the show and keep up with everything we do, make sure you follow us on everything, social media, all of it. We're on it, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, X, but who the hell uses that anymore? We're also on Blue Sky and various other sites. And also, don't forget, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel right now. That's right. We appreciate every single one of you that subscribes to the channel. And we also appreciate everybody that also subscribes to the Spotify channel as well, if you're watching us on Spotify right now. So, that being said, let's get on to the news. And our first story, this is kind of a funny one. There's always accusations being thrown all the time. Oh, this person ripped me off. This person ripped off this band. This person did, this band did this with this band. Well, apparently, former Megadeth guitarist Kiko Loureiro has claimed that Arch Enemy has ripped him off. That's right. He claims that the band's new single, To the Last Breath, is a complete, utter ripoff of his 2024 song, Taking Dreams. Well, it didn't take long for Arch Enemy to respond, and if that's what you wanted, Kiko, you got it. The band responded when guitarist Michael Emmett explained how Arch Enemy basically documents everything. They have first drafts, demos, this and that's all dated and filed in a database. But here's what he had to say in a statement, and this is the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. Hey, Kiko. Sorry to disappoint you and your lawyer, but as you can see and hear, I had the melody back in 2022 already. 2 years before you released your song. Any similarities are purely coincidental. So, enjoy the video and good luck with your music. I will continue to not listen to it. Cheers. It's awesome. That is an awesome response to something that you don't even want to be a part of. And it's like, don't even waste my time. Good luck, and I'll continue to not listen to you. So, with that being said, it's done. I mean, you never know. Kiko's got a point. Anybody in this day and age can make up anything and can mess with dates and things of that nature, but I don't think Arch Enemy is lying in this instance. All right, in other news, Swedish prog metal greats Evergrey have announced that they are parting ways with guitarist Henrik Danhage. I'm saying that wrong again, I apologize. He's been in the band on and off for about 20 years, and the band said in a statement that it was basically mutual. You know what I mean? Both sides just kind of were like, all right, this isn't working anymore. And especially since he stopped touring with them in 2025, it only made sense. And now he's replaced officially by Stephen Platt, and the band have unveiled an official brand spanking new song called The World Is on Fire, and we have it for you right now. It comes off their upcoming album, Architects of a New Wave, and it's out June 5th. Let's check out the single.
If these heavens could speak, and angels are real, would they try?
All right, so in other news, I recently went to go see Corrosion of Conformity live at the Worcester Palladium this past weekend from the date of this recording, and it was a good time. I did not realize that Clutch was the headliner, but Clutch was there. Not gonna lie, not a super huge fan of Clutch, although I have a lot of respect for what they do, and obviously great performance. If you saw the pit for that, it was quite phenomenal. But again, went and saw Corrosion of Conformity. It was such a good time. I kind of wished that they had a little bit more time on stage, because there's so many songs I would have loved to hear from Corrosion, but I didn't get a chance to. But they did play, the classics, Clean My Wound, Albatross, so on and so forth. So, I mean, whatever. You got to hear some of the classics. Not all of them, but some of the classics. But let's check out a video. All right, in other news, this is pretty wild, man. I mean, we heard of this instance sort of before. For a while, it was a little bit unclear as to, how Jeff Hanneman had passed away. But Jeff obviously suffered a spider bite while he was in the hot tub, and it did some damage. I mean, if you saw whatever it was, it basically, his arm looked like it was like decaying away. But scary news for the Pretty Reckless and Taylor Momsen, who had a very similar scary situation happen to her in Mexico City. She was bitten by a poisonous spider, and no, she doesn't turn into Spider-Man. But while on tour with AC/DC, she had to receive medical treatment before she went on stage that night. But here's what she had to say. So it wouldn't be an AC/DC tour if I didn't get bit. This time, a massive spider decided to take a chunk out of me, and its venom did a number on my system. So I had to have the wonderful doctors in Mexico come and deliver quite the shot before the show last night. Added to the list, Spider-Woman, Batgirl, WTF. It's wild. This is why I'm deathly terrified of spiders. This is why I don't go to places where poisonous spiders exist. Will not do it. Let that be a lesson as to why I don't venture into those atmospheres. Because I don't want to get bit. And then all of a sudden, crap happens to you. But hopefully Taylor is hopefully she's doing okay, and the tour will continue on and get well. And this other piece of news, this is wild. I mean, I don't understand this for the life of me. And anybody that knows GWAR knows that GWAR has always been a band that has been political throughout their 40-plus year career. They've always been political. They've always stood up for the little person, even though they don't have to. They're not from this planet. They don't have to stand up for us. You know what I mean? But they do. But unfortunately, we live in a world now where the political atmosphere is just absolutely insane. There's so much hatred on both sides. And what's wild is that the one amendment that this country has been built on, which is the freedom of speech, and obviously an amendment that GWAR themselves have taken to heart throughout their 40-plus year career, and they have to defend it against some jerks who apparently are offended over their latest stage show, which does have Donald Trump, it does have ICE, it does have various other members of the cabinet within their videos, Elon Musk, so on and so forth. But apparently these people are all bent out of shape and Balzac, the Jaws of Death, talked about how absurd it was being told what he could and couldn't do. Again, in a country that was built on freedom of speech. It's absolutely asinine. It's ridiculous. Get it the F out of here. GWAR, keep doing what you do. You are entertaining crowds. You are soaking us with the blood splatter and everything. It's absolutely amazing. Go and see GWAR live on tour. You won't regret it. In other news, Brady Ebert. You all know him. Last week on Pedal TV News Episode 5, I talked about how he hit Turnstile frontman's father with his car, causing serious injuries. Well, we know his father has broken legs, and Brady Ebert is claiming that he hit a 79-year-old man, okay, in self-defense. I mean, you're in an automobile that weighs thousands of pounds, okay, and you're going at a human being that probably weighs less than 200 pounds. I don't know. I've never seen the person before in my life, but I'm guessing that one obviously would win over the other, right? But that's what he's claiming, and prosecution and the judge was just not buying his bullshit, and they revoked his bail. So he's due back in court in May, as I've said before, but he's got a lot to think about from now until then. That is for sure. All right, we live in a day and age where people should not have a problem with bands doing tributes now. I mean, Leonard Skinner has been a tribute band for the last 20 years, okay, and they've been going strong. And various other bands are just doing the same thing. They continue on. Deep Purple is missing a lot of members, okay. Pantera is back out there with Charlie Benante and Zakk Wylde have been helping out the rest of the group. And why not Typo Negative? So Typo Negative guitarist Kenny Hickey has stated that he's on board with doing this tribute thing, you know what I mean, with maybe one singer, maybe a couple singers. But the only hang up is that Josh Silver still refuses to jump on board, and Hickey has basically told various news sites that, hey, if you want to know why, you've got to go and talk to him, but maybe there's going to be taking a lot of convincing to do, is basically what he said. But Hickey does is saying that, him and the other remaining members are down with doing a Typo Negative tribute. They did also reveal that there is archival material that's being prepared for an album, and that you're actually going to get a live album as well of a concert that was recorded. I can't remember which one, but they are going to have something for us, hopefully sooner rather than later. Over the course of my life, I've always been somebody that's believed that heavy music can be therapeutic. In a way, I've always believed that. I've always believed that it helps with getting the aggression out, or whatever is going on in your life. It helps get it out, and that you're not thinking about it all the time, right? And I always believe that heavy music has always helped in that nature. Well, there's a documentary that is trying not necessarily to prove whether heavy music is bad, whether it's good, or whatever. It's here to tell you through a whole ton of people. I mean, think about this. Jesse Leach, Mike Nine Williams, Vinny Stigma, Michael Alago, Lou Kohler, so much more are in this documentary called Heavy Healing, telling you how heavy music helped them heal through various things. I mean, there's various things from serious diseases and illnesses to mental health illnesses, things of that nature, right? Co-filmmaker Seth Abrams, okay, he's a guy who's an industry vet. He's done various things with it, from Street Team to actually working with labels. Suffered an aortic aneurysm, okay, and a stroke at the age of 34, which left his left side paralyzed, okay. In 2019, he went through seizures and a brain infection that wiped out his short-term memory. But in the documentary, he talks about how heavy music helped him through all of this, which one of the tracks, I don't blame him, You Can't Bring Me Down by Suicidal Tendencies, is an amazing, amazing track, and it helped him out through tons of things. Heavy Healing is going to be shown at the Real Abilities Film Festival. It's a film festival that's dedicated to disabilities and things of that nature. It's actually the world's largest festival that is dedicated to that. So April 25th at the Males Doc Center in Harlem, and April 27th at the Nighthawk Cinema in Prospect Park, Brooklyn. Both showings are going to be 7 p.m. If you want to go and check that out, I would suggest to do so. Let's check out the trailer.
So as soon as I got home, I made an appointment with the doctor, and I went in, and then they said, "We found something."
I have cancer.
Cancer. You have cancer.
You have 12 months. You're fucked.
He's never gonna walk. He's never gonna swallow. He's never gonna use his left hand or arm again.
I was born with cerebral palsy.
As soon as my body got the anesthesia, I went into cardiac arrest and flatlined.
It killed everyone that you knew had HIV.
If we don't get it now, you might have to wear a collar. What? Whoa! Let's pull rotor right now.
Depression and anxiety didn't just knock on the door, they kicked it in.
It is something that they didn't really offer a lot of optimism on.
Heavy music was a soundtrack to my illness and my experience.
That pulled me back from the edge of suicide many times. Those times when I get dark and I'll spiral. Headphones go in, put that song on, put that album on.
I was always listening to music. What were you listening to? The usual most of the Bad Brains. Bad Brains always made me feel like happy.
No, I'm sitting there blasting Motorhead in my earphones.
It was the Adolescents, though, the band The Adolescents, who I love. Kiss came into my life.
Holy shit, I like Destroyer.
And I saw the Ramones.
But when I heard Public Enemy, it was the same thing. Lyrics, sound, revolutionary feeling.
I'm going to listen to, Obituary and Flotsam and Jetsam. There's a blast in the past.
I was always a fan of black metal, just because, the music was so raw and it was so dark and heavy.
A lot of punk rock.
I have two older brothers, big Anthrax fans. So that music always riled me up.
I want to hear black metal. I want to hear artists like Necrofire and Black Braid and Black Anvil and Achilles and all this stuff that you'll never hear on the radio, but it does something to my head. Like all that hard and heavy stuff, for me, just clears my head.
Did I mention you forgot me?
Music is definitely the first medicine you go after.
It's the release of anxiety, aggression, stress, yelling and expressing and
The music,
vent,
the pit,
event.
the friends.
It relaxed me. I don't know why.
Oh, you must like Linkin Park. Get the fuck out of here, man.
I look at music as food. Like, you don't always want salty. You don't always want sweet. You don't always want spicy, but you might like it all.
People survived slavery and they survived the Holocaust, and there's people that were poor playing music, and there's always been songs and people in prison singing, and it just gets you through.
Castle Rat have just released a new video for their track Sirens ahead of their upcoming tour with the Monomarth and Death Clock. That's right, that tour kicks off April 15th in Phoenix, Arizona, and runs until May 21st in Las Vegas, Nevada. Let's check out a clip. All right, progressive groove metal band Sanctuary, whose first album, Refuge Denied, was produced by Dave Mustaine, now has something in common with the Megadeth guitarist and frontman. That's right, they both share a label. That's right, Sanctuary is just signed to Black, which also houses the Cro-Mags and Biohazard, and the band have unleashed a new single entitled Not for the Living, which is the first since frontman Warrell Dane passed away, and this is huge for the band. So let's check out a clip of the video. So congratulations to the band on signing with Black to Black. I look forward to a brand new record from you guys. All right, Silverstein has announced a tour with Story of the Year called the Camp Screamo Tour, which kicks off July 12th in Asbury Park, New Jersey, and goes to August 22nd in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. All right, make sure if you like both of those bands, you go and check them out. And finally, Twisted Sister have announced their first shows with Sebastian Bach. That's right. September 4th in Palmer, Oklahoma. September 12th in Durant, Oklahoma. October 8th in Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. And then October 10th in Windsor, Ontario, Canada. Never fear, while Sebastian Bach is super, super excited about doing this tour, he has promised that he will not stop singing those Skid Row classics that he was a part of, as he's going to be balancing out being in Twisted Sister and doing solo tours. So hopefully we get more tour dates with Twisted Sister. I would love to see Twisted Sister with Sebastian Bach. So hopefully, keep my fingers crossed. All right, that's going to do it for me today with Pedal TV News. I thank all of you once again for tuning in to the episode. As always, please follow the show on YouTube. Please subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. I appreciate every single one of you that subscribes to the channel. If you're watching on Spotify, please subscribe to the show on Spotify. Keep up with everything that we do. And as always, I'll see you guys next time. Stay metal.